We don't believe to let a third party to decide what's going to be our working condition. We know the operation, railway operation are very complicated. The union knows the operation, the companies knows the operation, and they know what we need to operate this and to provide the workers a decent working condition.
Less than 24 hours after the federal labor minister asked for binding arbitration to end the national rail shutdown, the union is not backing down. Some workers remain on the picket line at CPKC, and some have returned to work at CN Rail. That won't last long. The Teamsters Canada Rail Conference has issued a strike notice for CN Rail.
The Teamsters will prevail. We never walk away from a fight, and we will not walk away from this fight.
The Labor Code says the Labor Minister can ask the Industrial Relations Board to order binding arbitration, but only if labor disputes are insurmountable, something the Teamsters disagree with.
You could argue here he only allowed a lockout strike to occur after 1 day. Is that enough time to decide that the two parties can't make an agreement?
It's believed Labor Minister Stephen McKinnon faced pressure from business interests to end the shutdown quickly. But rail isn't considered an essential service. Essential service providers can't lock out workers, and workers can't strike. Employment relations professor Rafael Gomez notes both the union and companies fought this designation at the Industrial Relations Board and won.
Why go through this sort of pantomime theater, this kabuki theater of pretending that we have a right to strike, and then whenever, or the lockout, right? The employers then have the equal right to lock out their workers. This is not a true actionable right, because in point of fact, anything that regards transportation, which is so critical, that cuts across every province, is really not something that Canadians, via their legislature, seemingly are willing to sort of tolerate.
We are against that kind of tools because it's again free bargaining, and for us it's a fundamental concept in our working relation in Canada. The freedom of both parties to put pressure on the other and to settle an agreement at the end.
One party willing to tolerate it, the NDP. In its 63-year history, the NDP has never voted for back-to-work legislation. Throughout this labor dispute, the party has backed the Teamsters all the way, underlining the core issue is rail safety.
10 years after the disaster, the accident of Lac Mégantic, I don't think it's really wise from the Liberals to play that kind of game with their health and safety of not only the workers, but the public in general.
In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.